What's up, everyone? Just gonna be doing some like random doodling, really, and just kind of see where it goes. I haven't done traditional art in a while. I've been kind of mostly liking to do a lot of digital, and yeah, I don't know. Digital feels like I have more, can kind of experiment a bit more. But yeah, I'll just kind of do some like random. I don't know why my pen is picking up like that. I do feel like it's a lot nicer sort of being a bit further back when I'm drawing. Mostly just because I won't kind of like, I feel like judge my drawing right away. And so I can kind of just do more things and not really worry about each individual stroke, but just kind of like how it sort of feels out from with the character. I'm also really liking like painting kind of in a way where it's a bit like a blend between drawing and painting. It's kind of a big change up from how I used to draw and like well prefer to draw, which is very like however the line turns out. It's kind of what I'm going to do where this kind of way is more of searching around and just going for whatever's best. Not sure where my art glove went off to. I didn't really look for it, but it probably fits some of these weird blobs that are gonna happen in from the sensitivity just picking up my hand. No, honestly, I haven't really been drawing that too much lately. Like I was kind of burnt out from just kind of, I don't know, mostly just the need to like try to make money off of art kind of burns me out more than anything. Not necessarily like the art itself, just kind of is a pain not always have that on your mind. I'll try to like pull the hair downward and back here somewhat. Yeah, I don't really have any goal for this character, or like kind of not really for anything, just kind of just rendering out something really. Just some random character. Honestly, my favorite way has always been to just like draw things that are very spontaneous and random, but I don't think it really from the outside people really like it as much as like it is to make it. I think it's a lot more fun to make things like this, but I don't know, it's not really like not really a thing for it. Which kind of sucks. I feel like most art kind of has to be like intentional, or you have to make it interactable to make it into something that people are interested in buying from you, which kind of sucks. But I mean, especially for like most art and different things, I feel like most people kind of like are like the first thing someone will ask is, "Oh, what is it?" or "What is it for?" or like I don't know. "Oh, what was your inspiration for the piece?" Or just like different things like that. Kind of just something just can't happen to happen. It's gotta always have some reasoning attached to it. Not really sure why it happens like that, but I'm guessing it's just people want everything to be explained. Can't really have any open ended or undiscovered things. Kind of try not to have that sleeve too messy, otherwise it'll kind of blend in with some of the skin that's that kind of fun hair texture and different things that are going on up there. So I feel like I've kind of never understood like art communities in general, and kind of never really vibe too much with them. This is like I just always see like someone trying to have fun with their art, and then they'll post it, kind of like share with other people, and then immediately the first thing that always ends up happening is someone goes and critiques or kind of just goes and shits on their drawing. It's like why does someone have to go and do that? It makes no sense. Most of the time when I think someone draws, it's usually just for fun and wanna mess around, and it's not always this like game of perfection or trying to, I don't know. I feel like there's not much room or breathing room for artists these days, or maybe there would never really was, but especially like seeing Instagram artists, or like the sort of like ones that post some sort of image daily, they kind of keep like one style for years, or if not forever. And it doesn't seem like they really want to, but it's like that effect that, I mean, I even notice it for like my own stuff, like just having this as like a digital drawing, it looks different than my traditional stuff, which most of the people that follow me are kind of like came from the traditional art that I used to post a lot. So just that, like if I posted something that's a bit of like different style, just because I want to explore something new, it'll just naturally not do as well. So if you're just going kind of off of social media performance and different things, you can kind of get into a trap where you can only draw and explore like one way, and it's kind of just the way that people know you for, kind of like an identity. So I feel like it's kind of toxic in a way. Like it doesn't really let you breathe or try new things for art. Like you can't really experiment. You just have to do what works and spam that until the end, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I can't do it that way. I just get bored of drawing the same way. I have to constantly be experimenting, so I don't really care if like someone really likes a certain way that I draw one week. It's kind of just like it just can't continue to do that same like style if I'm not feeling it. And it kind of changes like on a daily basis. I don't know why I've always kind of been like that, but like this character now is gonna do some sort of painting kind of thing, but I ended up just doing some like line art scribbling. So it just kind of happens, and all of my better drawings, or the ones that I feel like I've been kind of proud of, have always been the ones where I'm just kind of like going with those different kind of moments that just start to happen, and then going with it and see where it goes. Yeah, I've been kind of wanting to do customs, but no one's really asked. So if it's something anyone wants, my schedule's like completely free. So if you want me to draw anything or any character, paints, whatever, literally not really busy at all. So I could probably do it relatively quick. But you can just email me at whatever email's in the description. Or if you don't want to look in the description, it's just Brycekolanderart at gmail.com. But yeah, I pretty much draw anything. It doesn't have to be like a one-off painting either. It can be like some kind of like comic project or whatnot as well. Animation doesn't. I'm not really too picky on it. I kind of do it a lot of different things. So but yeah, I've been really wanting to do customs. Just can't really get anyone to really be interested in it. So yeah, if anyone is interested, you're pretty much first in line. Man, I shouldn't have zoomed in. It looks much worse. Zoomed in. I'll just like touch up some of these areas honestly and just move on to another character. Yeah, sorry guys for the more depressing kind of video today. I don't know. I always like to just kind of talk about how I feel. Don't really want to show up to a video and just be like, "Oh yeah, everything's like amazing," and then just lie the whole time and try to act like I'm always excited to to go and make videos or stream or different things like that. So I feel like it's better to kind of just be truthful and honest about things. I never really painted a character like this. This is kind of a bit awkward. Usually if I did kind of a rendered thing like this, I would just go in with flats and just kind of like make the line art a little bit cleaner. But this one's a bit of kind of rendering over the the line art. I go a bit darker so I can kind of shape out this a bit. Kind of tuck in some of those areas that were popping up a bit back here. I'll do another layer below so I can keep some of that rendering on the hair. Whenever I go to color, I kind of like to spread out the colors and keep them like a little bit consistent throughout. Like if I do something that's like a leather material or something, then when I go to do another thing that's around that same material, then I'll do it a very similar color or the same color, and it just kind of, I don't know, I feel like a character looks pretty good when they sort of have like this, I don't know how to describe it, but sort of like a speckling kind of effect where like throughout the character you have these areas with a lot of the same colors. I think I'll even make the gloves this brown. Right. And then I think usually I don't really figure out a color around this time, but I think I want to do his outfit a bit of a lighter bluish gray. Right. And then the plants, I'll do a bit of a green. Not even sure really why I drew plants on this sword, but that's kind of the like things that I enjoy is doing these more like random effects. Then I don't know. The sword handle can also just be a brown. Never really too picky on the handles of the swords. Now this is a bit of rendering and a lot of things need to be a lot darker. I try to like inch my way and get closer and closer towards black as I can when I'm doing these shadows and trying to add like as much dimension or detail as I can. I also go a bit like lighter, add more on parts like this, like towards the light can just go barely a bit darker and just add a bit of shape to it. And areas that need a lot more dark areas, I'll go in. So once I put down the general shadows, it kind of just becomes working within the shadows and then working within the light areas. I try to avoid going keeping like too many areas light can look like a little bit washed out without much contrast. But honestly, I think that probably looks fine. Alright, I'll do like one more character. Whenever I paint in this kind of like sketchy drawing sort of way, I'm really just looking for definition because I feel like when painting, I always find that definition is one of the things that painting kind of lacks or struggles a bit, whereas like drawing definition is quite easy, I think, to obtain. So it doesn't really need like as much effort on it. And I feel like drawing kind of lacks a bit of like of actually like kind of the softer vibe that the painting has. So they're a little bit like opposites in a way, but they still kind of play the exact same. I do feel like I paint a lot faster and probably more efficient than I actually draw. I think like for actual detail and everything, I can get a lot more done with the painting. Oops. Not really dark enough. I feel like for painting too, it's good to be like brave on the values. I think it's very easy to kind of be a bit safe when it comes to the values and kind of like not go in very extreme on the both the lights and darks. I know a lot of people like to keep or kind of like to have systems on how they go about their like what values they're gonna use and different templates and things, but I don't know. I like to just kind of use all of the values. It's gonna be too dark or too gray. So yeah, I mean, all I'm really doing is going for definition and trying to define out some of these areas. And then from here, sometimes I notice I'll get a little scared when I end up like in a part like this, because like, oh, the mask is, or whatever I'm drawing right now, kind of has a lot of detail on it. So then I'll kind of go into this phase of where I kind of consider it more like drawing, where now I can kind of add things like this, or we could put these like different features maybe here, and then I could define the top of the mask and kind of how that's gonna be, and then just kind of like work out. So it's kind of like drawing the lines on the character, but a bit different. Not really any different, honestly. But yeah, and then this is kind of what I meant on the values, is I'm going pretty dark here. So it's kind of a bit of a jump scare for how much it changes, but it can really help like jumpstart the definition. And then from like there, I'll get some kind of spontaneous things. Like let's say we go full black now with our value. It's a bit of a jump for like the blend, but I can sort of also jump a bit ahead on the rendering and work out like what the rest of this character's kind of gonna do. Like the whole eye area is kind of lacking, so I'll just completely redo that. Same with like the mouth here. So yeah, if you guys I don't know, are into kind of like digital painting or something and like to not sketch out, or even if you do kind of like have a pre-sketch, try not to be afraid of like totally destroying the harder and hard like rendered areas. 'Cause it really doesn't matter too much. You can just re-render it. And then like now I have a bit of a better base to kind of go further with. And that's really what I'm kind of looking for when doing this. So now from here we can kind of define out this a bit better. And if I want to do some kind of teeth, for the mouth, then I can kind of like start working on that and figuring out how I want to do that part. So yeah, I know. Lately, I've just been kind of really self-conscious about if people are kind of gonna like what I post, which I don't think is the best kind of route to go. So I think I'm just gonna start posting anything, and the people that are kind of interested in probably still be interested in it, and then but trying to make my art into something that, like, each piece into something that pleases. Generally, everyone is just not very realistic, I don't think. But yeah, just gonna coming to terms that not everything that I post people are really gonna like. I think I might try to mix some gold in here, maybe. Man, that did not go very dark. Alright, that's probably gonna do it for this video. Just kind of doodling around and doing a couple of characters. So yeah, I'll see you guys in another one sometime soon, probably.